Good afternoon on what is a bright, warm and sunny day. It is Wednesday the 31st of August and I've got some parcels to unbox and a nice hot cup of tea. So let's get started. So get the knife out. Okay, and what I've got in here is this, which is Spaceship Zero, the sci-fi serial role-playing game. Okay, so it's just been sent like that. So, this was published by Green Ronin in 2002. So I'm just going to take the shape off. The back here, so I can have a look at the. This is quite. Yeah. So I'm just taking it. So we've got there. So. Rocket torpedoes are armed and atomizers charged. Atomic xenon surges through every energy conduit. The crew of Spaceship Zero awaits your orders for Space Corps for the future. Spaceship Zero is a complete role-playing game that includes easy-to-use character creation rules and sample characters that will jump right into the action. Full details of the world of Spaceship Zero and the excitingly dangerous Universe 2. A guide to the high-tech of the 21st century. Atomic ray gun, the rocket belts, and more. Introductory adventure so you can blast off immediately. A complete Spaceship Zero TV episode guide. The art of Tara and Mac Bin Atkinson. Contributions from game industry, Space Cadets, John Tynes and Monty Cook, and a whole lot more. Space Corps needs you. Will you answer the call of adventure? In the thrilling world of the 21st century, Spaceship Zero is the acme of sci-fi adventure, inspired by several episodes from the 1950s. This innovative role-playing game promises countless hours of atomic-powered, pulse-pounding, pulp excitement and an infinite number of alternate universes. We've scoured every episode to fully reproduce the Spaceship Zero experience. Whether you've seen the German television series, found a bootleg copy of the radio show, or even seen previews of Spaceship Zero, the movie, every aspect of Spaceship Zero has been reproduced in loving detail. The Spaceship Zero RPG is the latest incarnation of this truly original sci-fi universe. Any die-hard enthusiast of Spaceship Zero can tell the story of this epic saga. When Professor Ashton activated his rocket ship's better-than-light drive, he didn't just destroy the universe, he launched one of the greatest pulp adventures ever seen by man. So, the crew of the Spaceship Zero is stranded in an alternate reality, lost in the terrifying dimension of Universe 2. Witness these and kindred wonders, 100-eyed alien horrors, loathsome Hydronaut warriors, diabolical astro-automatons, hirsute space gladiators, alien invaders from beyond Pluto, super-intelligent monkeys, a silver armada of spaceships, maniacal undersea cults, beauteous barbarian warrior women, ancient Martian mysteries, and the red-blooded, two-fisted, hyper-demonstrative heroes of Space Corps. Imagine that you're standing on the bridge of Spaceship Zero, trapped in a universe you never knew. Shambling, blasphemous, backtracking invaders are conquering an alternate Earth, and they're spawning with captive Earthwomen. They're torturing the strongest humans in sadistic gladiatorial contest. They're poisoning our atmosphere with mist-spewing cigarettes of greenish alien metal. Can you let Earth suffer and die? Can you? No, you can't, because Space Corps needs you. But wait, that's not all. Spaceship Zero also comes with its own original game system, a role-playing game completely incompatible with other role-playing systems. Toss away those troublesome 20-sided dice. Hurl them at the bastions of conformity. We've seen the future, and we're bringing it to you today. That's one heck of a blurb. So, Spaceship Zero, the sci-fi role-playing game, Tara Atkinson and Warren Banks, published in 2002 by Green Ronin Publishing. This is sort of one of the lost, I mean, ill-remembered, forgotten kind of science fiction role-playing games from the early noughties, when everyone was essentially digging into the D20 system, range of titles that were just pouring onto the market at the time. And this crept out, accompanied by a really fun CD soundtrack to the movie, of course, by the Darkest of the Hillside Thickets, and what you've got here is a Lovecraftian pulp sci-fi action game, accompanied by some fantastic artwork, which I'll obviously showcase. And it's primarily like a basic roleplay type system. Temple of Contents, complete with the classic pulp horror, pulp action font. And so here's some of the artwork in relief. So it is pulp. It does tend towards the cheesecake a bit in places. So we've got an explanation of a role-playing game, plus a really nice shot of the sort of like a semi-alternate crew from Spaceship Zero, not Spaceship Zero, from Lost in Space, which really, because it actually looks really kind of creepy. And it's possible that, yes, you can play a space dog. I don't mean a pirate, I mean a dog who is in space. And here we have the invasion of the space frogs. So fantastic depictions of not deep ones in space. But the idea essentially is this. There's a pulp TV series, originally in German, and then also essentially originally on the radio, sort of like in the 30s and 40s, and then adapted to a German television series in the 50s, which was really popular. And so popular that it's sort of like it spawned a movie and a revival in the sort of like in the noughties. So we have more of that artwork, but here not a nicely done fisheye lens effect. And this is what this role-playing game is based upon. Of course, it's a fantastic conceit. There was no radio serial, there was no German television series, there is no movie. But I mean, essentially, leap into it as if there were. That's the point. Essentially, what the game is really an exploration of an alternate universe that the player characters themselves actually create, because they are members of Space Corps whose leading academic builds and designs the Better Than Light drive. And it works. They do indeed go faster than light, but unfortunately what that means is sucking all of the current universe in through the front end, destroying it, and excreting the universe out the back, only it's been reconstituted as a completely different universe, i.e. Universe 2. And this is one that is actually definitely inhabited by blasphemously alien creatures such as where are we? Space frogs, and worse. So let's carry on. See what else we've got in here. So obviously in here, essentially, the common sense rule: critical successes and horrible blunders. That's a nice way of putting it. I do like nicely simple phrases for critical hits, basically critical successes, critical failures. Strange creatures to be encountered out there. And then we have Boffin himself, because this is a setting with boffins, firmly set in the past, science fiction. And then we've actually got archetypes here, so I'll just show you those. So there's the captain, and then we've got the corporate executive, and the doctor, and the gladiator. We've got the hybrid, the frog human or human frog hybrid, the mechanic. Then we get onto the pilot. All ready to blast off, full of daring do. The robot, Very heavily influenced by Robbie the Robot, but that really works. The Scientist, as you've already seen, a Slave Girl, a Space Pirate, and these are all ready to play archetypes. And then we've got a Stowaway, and the Stowaway is brilliantly illustrated by a box. It's just sort of like, it's really funny. And then you've got a choice of super intelligent pets. So super intelligent cat, complete with eye patch. Also we've got a super intelligent dog. So yes, you can play space dog, or indeed super intelligent monkey. So you can play a space monkey. And then we get on to skills. We've got the handbook there, reading there, how to survive in deep space. So, and just more of this great artwork. It's a really nicely illustrated book. It's fairly dense in its text, but that's what you expect. And we've got obviously illustrations from the classic German television series. And you almost wish that sort of like that the designers had sort of like actually gone out, got costumes, got set dressing, and posed for these photos. That would have been highly amusing. And of course we've got the section we have taking damage, wounds and injury. Ouch. And then we have creative ways to inflict grisly demise. Yeah, so ground and space, dealing with action and things like manoeuvres in space. So quite a lot of text to go through, and then we have things like Mothra and Godzilla, air versus ground, space marines and tanks, ground versus ground. We're just framing them in sort of like common kind of tropes that as you would expect, when it comes to science fiction. And here we have an illustration of the state of planet Earth in Universe 2. And then Zero Meistering, which is all for your Zero Meister, the equivalent of the Game Master for Spaceship Zero. So definitely got a brain there. And then we get into the secret world of Spaceship Zero, complete with, there's a Hydronaut, Empire, and you have gladiatorial fights against alien horrors. And then we've got resistance figures, of course, because always should be a resistance against the alien invaders. And we've got descriptions of cults like the Children of the Sea. So you've got enemies and allies as well thrown in there as well. And then essentially discussing things like what happens when Spaceship Zero helps, because that becomes sort of like a point. Its arrival is almost the starting point for this universe, because it's completely new. And it's dealing with this with each of the locations. So what happens on Earth when Spaceship Zero arrives? Destination 2 Mars, the factories know them and so on. What happens when Spaceship Zero arrives? Complete with adventure seeds. When Spaceship Zero arrives on Earth, Destination Venus as well. I think that's and then we've got a space bestiary, including things like the Astro Automaton, Bat Being. So these are not, I could put it, necessarily Lovecraftian creations as so much as nods to them. I mean, these are not deep ones, they are Hydronauts. What else we've got? Got animals. We've got described. Basically, the bestiary is quite short, but it's got a good section on how to build your own, build a better monster in there. And then power up, list of equipment. All very clunky and got a nice sort of like solid 1950s feel. So yes, scanners and jetpacks and whatnot. Personal weapons, so atomic pistols and atomic rifles. Weapons, guns, things that explode. Even things like the gas gun down there. And then, of course, for the hydronauts, disintegrators. And then armour, various different types of armour. Vehicles, spaceships, and the like. Let's see, technical manual. And they've got a complete guide to Spaceship Zero. Is a modified Mark V space hopper. So, complete description of the player characters, the crew spaceship, with a really nice cutaway illustration there. No deck plans, but again, we basically go into quite deep detail of things like the green files of Professor Cornelian Ashton, defining the better than life drive and its associated Bendor field. And then also covers the computers and Space Core, and then Space is Hell, dealing with things like insanity and space madness. And then sort of like just dealing with sort of like general aspects of the setting and so on. You know, what ifs, cheating death, doppelgangers in time. You think you're the first, but you ain't. So what happens essentially if this has been done again and again? Before we get into the intro adventure, where the player characters, the crew, switch on the better than light drive, and then essentially we'll get to the point one. Scene 2, activate the plot device. So yes, you could actually just run it so like, okay, you run the Space Core, you're doing this amazing mission, here's the setup, and then, oh no, look what we've done. And that's essentially how it plays out. And lastly, you've got notes on character advancement before the appendix. Deals with the episode guide. Sorry, there was a 70s remake of Spaceship Zero. Forgot about that. And 1950s space slang, a glossary as well. You know, every kind of different kind of. If you've got a different kind of setting, you do need a glossary, and there's a bibliography and a suggested viewing list as well at the end before you get to the index. So, this is what a character sheet looks like. So this is Spaceship Zero, the sci-fi serial role-playing game set in a non-Lovecraftian universe, designed by a member by Torrin Atkinson and Warren Banks. Torrin being an artist and member of the band Darkest of the Hillside Thickets, which I recommend listening to, not just this soundtrack, but if you like your music themed around Lovecraft and dark horror. But yeah, do go try. If you're looking for an interesting science fiction horror setting, then this is a really good choice. Even if you want to adapt it to the system that you prefer, this is really a lot of fun. Definitely got its cheek full of tongues, because, you know, if not tentacles, because its tone is kind of faux, you know, faux sturdiness, faux heroism, heroics, because it's derived from the pulp action. So yes, Spaceship Zero, published in 2002. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with parcel, which contains a book or game which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. We'll be back again soon with another unboxing of the Nook. Bye for now.